Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. Every night, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Y'all know who I am. I am the 5-star General Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. Is supposed to be confirmed as the new director over ICE. There's something going on in D.C. Tonight, we're going to tell you why we think it ain't happening. Let's go with it, man. Harris County again. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another edition of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to hang out with your boy. You know, on one of the hottest shows in social media history. You know, without you guys, I wouldn't have a show. So I appreciate you taking the time out to come and hang out with me. But it is what it is, man. For almost 2.5 years, a lot of you good people have been loyal followers tuning in every night to my antics. And I want to tell you, I thank you for what you do. You really could be doing something else, but you choose to hang out with me and do what we do every night. And I really do appreciate it. I really do. I thank you so much. It's about to be a new year. And for some of y'all, that's a big deal. I really don't get off into holidays. I don't celebrate it like some people because every day is a blessing. I don't have to thank God for allowing me to see another year when I get to see it every single day. But for those that do what they do, man, I hope you have a better year next year than you had this year. I hope that you accomplish every single goal that you want to accomplish. And at the end of the day, you make more money next year than you ever made in your life. I've been trying to follow this Ed Gonzalez thing. You know, Ed Gonzalez is the sheriff over here in Harris County, Texas, down here in Houston and different things. Runs one of the most corrupt sheriff departments in the country. The Harris County jail is trash across the board. It is what it is. But as a person, I think that Ed is a good person. I've never had a problem with him. But my job is to report the news, and that's what I do on a daily basis. Now, I'm going to share the screen in a minute because I want you to understand something that for a minute it's been what it has been with hold on a second. It's been what it has been as far as Sheriff Gonzalez being appointed to be over ICE. This came down earlier in the summer that Joe Biden wanted to appoint Sheriff Gonzalez to be over ICE. He wanted to appoint him to be over ICE. And that's a pretty big deal, man, to get an appointment from the President of the United States. But at that time, something came out. If it's affected his ability to be confirmed, then that's what it is. But they have until Monday to confirm him. If not, they'd have to wait until the next legislative season to be able to confirm Sheriff Gonzalez over ICE. Let me go. I'm looking for something real quick. Let's go here. I'm looking for something real fast. Okay. So there. Official affidavit. Okay. I'm sharing a screen with y'all. Let's share the screen and then we'll get to it. Hold on a second. All right. It came out in the newspaper today. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez will likely have to restart nomination process to be ICE director if he remains Biden's pick. That's because if they don't pick him, if they don't do what they need to do by Monday, then it will not happen. And as you can see, the Senate has yet to confirm Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, Director of U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, meaning he will likely need to be nominated again and will face an uphill battle to be confirmed for that role. The Senate must agree unanimously before January 3rd to hold over the nomination of Gonzalez or nominate him during the 2022 legislative session. All right, but there may be a reason as to why. I don't know if you guys have been aware, but there was supposed to have been a love triangle. Yeah, you might want to push the share button. This stuff, you can't make some of this up. I don't even have the imagination to make some of this up. Let's go back over here. Let me check something. I want to be able to give you the full story. Okay. Let's go here. I'm gonna share a screen with you. All right, can you see that? Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. No, that's about as big as I can make it. President Joe Biden's pick to lead ICE is in serious trouble. This is what Aubrey Taylor wrote, if you ask me. So for all of you who don't know, Ed Gonzalez's nomination is in jeopardy for several different reasons. Beyond the allegations that he assaulted his wife, Dr. Melissa Gonzalez, after learning of her romantic affair with her boss, Dr. Cesar Maldonado, the Chancellor of HCC College. Now, that being said, when I get my hands on the sworn affidavit of former HCC police officer Frederick Portis that has been signed, notarized, and sworn by the officer Frederick Portis, I'd have the duty to report it. The Chancellor of HCC has been having problems for a while. Look at this. Let me make sure you can see. Okay, you can see that. Aubrey said, now this dude here is the one who spilled the beans, if you believe the account of Patricia Dodd. This guy right here. You see him? That man right there. Detailed inside Attorney Bill Hall's $15 million lawsuit against HCC. The suit alleges that trustee Robert Glacier is the person who told Patricia Dodd, one of his subordinates, that he felt emboldened to ask her for sex because Dr. Cesar Maldonado, the chancellor of the college, was his personal friend, and he was having a similar sexual relationship with a married female employee who happened to be Dr. Melissa Gonzalez, an employee at the college who was working under him. So if you go through the affidavit of the police officer Portis that has been signed, notarized, and sworn to by Officer Frederick Portis, that trustee Robert Glacier was not lying. Now, from what I can see, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez has several issues that could derail his nomination as the best person to lead ICE. Allegedly assaulting his wife after learning of her affair with her boss, Dr. Cesar Maldonado, is one major issue that could be very problematic for Sheriff Gonzalez. he was beating her because she was getting her love from another source. This is what this article is basically saying. All right. However, he also has to be very concerned about the fact that actual ICE officers blasted him and called the selection of him to lead ICE as premature. As a matter of fact, labor union for deportation officers accused Gonzalez of calling whistleblowers liars when he discontinued their tales of being blocked from enforcing immigration laws. In fact, according to an exclusive article that was published inside the Washington Times, ICE National ICE Council President Chris Crane said in a letter to senators earlier this week that Sheriff Gonzalez's quick dismissals of complaints from within their presumptive workforce led us to believe that we're getting yet another partisan political operative to lead the agency. Not a director who truly cares about public safety and the employees he's entrusted to lead. So all of that being said, Sheriff Gonzalez faces an uphill battle in his quest to lead ICE. We're just getting you caught up. This is his resume. He's working every day, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, to keep seniors, families, and children safe. He is advancing reforms to our criminal justice system to ensure that everyone is treated equally under the law, and he is reforming the office to make it more efficient by controlling costs and eliminating waste. He's a graduate with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Houston downtown, went to serve 18 years with the Houston Police Department. He started out as a civilian employee, then became a police officer and rose to the ranks of sergeant, leading homicide investigations and serving on the elite hostage negotiating team. Ed also was elected to the Harris County City Council in 2009, serving 3 terms as the representative for District H. He was elected by his peers in 2010 to serve as vice mayor pro tem and was appointed mayor pro tem in 2012 by Mayor Anise Parker. That is all great. Look at what Aubrey wrote. Attorney Ben Hall isn't playing. Attorney Ben Hall isn't playing around with HCC College. He was board trustees Robert. What was board trustee Robert Glacier thinking? Get this. There's a portion of the lawsuit that details an event where HCC trustee Robert Glacier took an employee to a bar, and after a few drinks, the female became incapacitated and ended up in bed without any clothes on with sore thighs. Man, oh man, the lawsuit goes on to claim HCC trustee Robert Glacier is said to have told the female afterward that he had taken her home the night before from the bar and made out with her. Man, you have to read this story, my God. Now, you know that HCC's been hit with a $15 million lawsuit. You see what I'm saying? And this is crazy that all of this is going on at our community college. All of this is going on at our community college. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Nothing surprises me anymore about what's going on down here in Houston. Nothing surprises me anymore. So let's share the screen. Now, if you guys clearly understand what a sworn affidavit is, this is something that it's an official statement that can be used in a court of law. Now, there was an officer that was there the day that something happened with Sheriff Gonzalez's wife. At the college, there was something that happened. So we got our hands on the sworn affidavit. Let's go over here and look at the sworn affidavit. I come with the receipts. I just don't just get to talking, you know. This is the sworn affidavit of Patricia Dodd, the plaintiff, versus Robert Glacier in his official capacity, Cesar Maldonado in his official capacity. And this is an affidavit of HCC police officer Frederick Portis. Before me, the undersigned authority on this day personally appeared Frederick Portis, who being by me first duly sworn upon his oath, stated the following facts are within his personal knowledge and are true and correct. Here you go. Here you go. His name is Frederick Portis. He's 45-year-old black male, resides in Houston. I filed his affidavit under the pains and penalties of perjury. And the court and parties in this case may rely on the following information. Between 2014 and 2017, I was hired by and served as a licensed police officer with Houston Community College. In 2017, I was promoted to the rank of corporal in the HCC Police Department. As an HCC police officer, I was charged with enforcing the laws of the state of Texas on HCC property. I had the power to detain, arrest, and take offenders of the law to jail. While I was hired by HCC as a licensed peace officer, I reported directly to the HCC Chief of Police and his ranking officers. I left HCC in 2020 and continued to work as a police officer with other agencies and governmental entities. I'm still a licensed police officer in the state of Texas. Okay, so let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Okay. I'm trying to make it bigger. Hold on. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Can you guys see that? Okay, you can see that. All right. Here we go. While working at HCC, another police officer and I were called to investigate an alleged domestic dispute between a female vice chancellor of the college named Melissa Gonzalez. The call came from Chancellor Cesar Maldonado's office and concerned Ms. Gonzalez having a domestic complaint about her husband's actions towards her. The husband was Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. I and other HCC officer went to Maldonado's office to investigate the complaint. Upon arriving, I noticed Ms. Gonzalez sitting in a chair with Chancellor Maldonado sitting near her. The chancellor spoke up and said Ms. Gonzalez wanted to file a complaint against her husband, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, because of suggested violence she had experienced at her home at the hands of the sheriff. Why is this chancellor so involved in this? Let's keep going. With that introduction, I asked Chancellor Maldonado to leave the room while we interviewed the complainant. The chancellor refused to leave the room and said he insisted on staying in the room. Citing to policy and protocol, I insisted the chancellor leave the interrogation, and he again refused. After this back and forth, trying to get Maldonado to leave the room, I felt the chancellor threatened the other officer and me with our jobs when he said something to the following effect: "You know I am your boss." He did this to try to intimidate me. I remember having my body cam on and operating at the time we arrived to the interview with Ms. Gonzalez, and that body cam footage was uploaded in the HCC computer system to go along with the investigative report on Ms. Gonzalez's domestic complaint against her husband, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. It was in my understanding that the video is presently still in the possession of HCC, but that an administrative block or password is needed to access the report and video. Because the chancellor demanded he remain in the interrogation room, Ms. Gonzalez was interviewed with the Chancellor Maldonado being present. During the investigation, Ms. Gonzalez, Chancellor Maldonado, coached her on how to answer the questions and what to say. The gist of the investigation concerned the sheriff's allegedly becoming physical or violent with Ms. Gonzalez because of her romantic relationship with the chancellor. The interrogation of Ms. Gonzalez while Chancellor Maldonado was present was also captured on the body cam and should also be, in the investigative file dealing with Ms. Gonzalez's complaint against her husband. Y'all feeling it? Okay. Because of the people involved in the complaint, the sheriff, his wife, and the chancellor, the investigative report was provided to the chief of police of HCC, Greg Cunningham. After the report was turned in, I had no further involvement in the investigation, the matter, and I am not aware of any criminal charges being filed against Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. If called as a witness in this case, I would truthfully repeat the above facts to a jury and the court under oath. I declare under penalty of perjury that the facts stated herein are true and correct to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief. What a body cam footage of the HCC? What a body cam footage of the meeting? So you need an administrative password in order to see the body cam footage of an interview where this chancellor and this woman basically allegedly admit that they're screwing around. The husband is a prominent figure in politics in Harris County because he's the sheriff of the Harris County, sheriff's department. But all of a sudden, you can't find the access code to get into the body cam. Do we need to ask ourselves again, is there something wrong with our leadership in Harris County? No, we don't need to ask ourselves that. You want to know why? Because there's definitely something wrong with our leadership in Harris County. Now, when I started, I told you I've never had an issue with Sheriff Gonzalez. I don't do bad stories on the sheriff or, things happen at the jail and I might speak on it, but I've never had a reason to try and tank Sheriff Gonzalez, let alone tank his ability to be promoted and get a job as director of ICE. But it's been said a few times that Aubrey reporting on this earlier in the summer and me speaking on it was one of the reasons that maybe he was not confirmed for the position because of the alleged physical assault on his wife because she was getting the dick from the chancellor over at HCC. Where is the body cam footage? Can we not see? This ain't a murder. This ain't a police involved shooting where y'all get to hold the footage. Why is it that you guys don't want to release that footage? But let us run a goddamn stop sign and you're going to have us on the 6 o'clock news. I'm dead serious. This don't make sense. The sheriff's wife was getting the dick from the chancellor at HCC. You talking about the same chancellor that wrongfully terminated a bunch of African Americans and started just promoting Latinos, and now they got like a $15 million lawsuit against the college? The chancellor that stay involved in a bunch of foolishness, and for some reason the board has not got rid of him. What is it that he has on y'all over there that you're still dealing with his foolishness? And now allegedly he slept with the wife of the sheriff in town. Now that's not a violation of any policy over there. I think you can get the dick from whoever you want. The issue is it involves an alleged assault by the sheriff against his own wife. And these statements are on a body cam that you guys are now acting like you can't even get into. So if I go to HCC tomorrow and slap the hell out the chancellor, I bet you find that body cam. I bet you find the body cam of the police jamming me up and putting them cuffs on me. But you can't find the body cam of the chancellor coaching the wife of the sheriff, allegedly, because she was getting the dick from him. And she got beat up by the husband, allegedly, for getting the dick from the chancellor. Are y'all serious? Are you guys serious? This is the most corrupt city I've ever been in my life. I grew up here and I ain't never seen this much foolishness that's going on. Now, and here's the thing. Should Sheriff Gonzalez be confirmed before January 3rd? No. There's some house cleaning that needs to be done. I think that whatever is happening in that matter should be resolved first. If he's exonerated, then you let it go. But this type of stuff happening, why isn't the Harris County District Attorney saying anything? Oh, I forgot they all Democrats. And they can do whatever they want in this county. They do not have to be held accountable. Do I think that Ed would be a good director over ICE? I'm not familiar with the policies, the procedures, or the protocols. But just knowing that he's always presented himself as a good person, I think he might do a good job, but I don't think that he should get the job at this moment. I think that whatever issues there are need to be resolved, and therefore you move on from there. There's no sense in giving him the job and then something comes out on this and all of a sudden he has to resign. That's a waste of taxpayers' money to go through confirmation hearings, and I don't think that it should happen. I just don't think that it should happen. I think that there's too much going on. Y'all, some of y'all just doing too much, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Some of y'all in positions of power, you're just doing too much. You got the right DA that ain't doing jack shit about it. And you know, right now you control the deck around this place. You control it all. So therefore, you will not be held accountable. And unless he's held accountable, I don't think that he should get that job, nor should he continue to hold the job that he has. No, you should be held accountable. In the real world, if there were allegations of spousal abuse, then guess what? You would definitely deal with the consequences beforehand. But, you know, this is Houston. This is where they don't protect, this is a city where they don't protect women from sex trafficking. They don't protect women from abuse. They just allow it to continue to happen. And that's what it is. When it's all said and done, these people that represent us on a daily basis, they should all be gone. They should all be gone, man, because it's a waste of time. Harris County is a joke. It's a laughing stock in the country when it comes to holding elected officials accountable for anything that they do. Y'all don't do nothing. Not everybody, but you Democrats that are in control of Harris County, you don't do nothing. I told you, man, if I could write a book, Sex, Lies in Harris County, probably be a bestseller. Because this is Gotham City. It's ran by the Joker. His second in command is the Riddler. And you got the Catwoman, the county judge, just sitting there doing nothing. But you want to hold the average Joe accountable for his actions. But yet you will not even hold the sheriff accountable? Have you even called him in? Have you spoken with him, with the Houston Police Department? HCC tried. They got a sworn affidavit saying they tried. But ain't nobody doing anything. This chancellor is out of control because he's a freak. Chancellor Maldonado is a freak. And he been getting his freak on at the HCC campus. Well, I tell you what, man, if you just want to go to school to be a freak, go to HCC. You may not learn nothing, but you might get some pornographic skills that could possibly help you in your near and future movie career. Because we got so much going on in these school systems, whether it's high schools or colleges, that it don't make sense. And it ain't got nothing to do with educating people. You people are just stealing money. It is what it is. You're stealing money. You're screwing everybody in the offices on the campus. A whole bunch of y'all on the dope. A whole bunch of you elected officials is dope addicts. You're snorting, you're popping pills, you're smoking weed. A whole bunch of y'all, man. And Jamarcus say ain't nothing wrong with getting a little head. No, ain't nothing wrong with getting ahead in life, man. Ain't nothing wrong with getting ahead in life, man. But I see one of my favorite politicians just popped in, the Honorable State Representative Hal Dutton Jr. I want to just send a shout out to him and wish him luck in his primary. That's good. That's a good dude right there. I don't care what nobody say. You can't tell me nothing bad about Dutton because Dutton is real, man. So, Mr. Dutton, how you doing, my friend? But I'm just telling you, man, we don't even want to talk about the Harris County Department of Education. No, we don't want to talk about them. They trash too. And Mr. Dutton, if y'all didn't know, he was the chairman of the educational committee in the legislation this following session, this session that just ended. And it's always an honor to go in there and speak in front of that commission on education, because I think that they really take one of the few committees that I have the pleasure of speaking to, because they listen. They actually listen. So I hope, Mr. Dutton, you've been taking notes on what's been going on with the Houston Independent School District, because they need to shut that place down, man. They need to shut the Houston Independent School District down. That's the only way we're going to get them rats out the building. Now, whether y'all know it or not, there were many nights we were at community meetings and folks were attacking Mr. Dutton because of things that, he put in play in the legislation. I understood why he did it, but I think that he's one of the better African-American legislators, because he really knows how to work both sides of the aisle. And a lot of people on the African-American Democratic side do not know how to work both sides of the aisle. So, he to me, a living legend, man. Got nothing but love for him. But back to HCC. Chancellor Maldonado is a freak. And he been getting his freak on at HCC. I think the chancellor might listen to too much rap music. Chancellor been listening to that old school Houdini. 2 songs he really into. I know he really like them. I'm a hoe, and the freaks come out at night. The chancellor, you straight up, man. I wish I had your hand, Chancellor Maldonado. I cut mine off. I really do, man. Because how do you run an entity like HCC and have the time to be screwing one of your assistant chancellors and think ain't nobody gonna find out? And now you got officers that come to his office that want to interview somebody who says they've been physically assaulted. He will not leave the room. Sound like some side piece shit to me. He will not leave the room. And now all of a sudden you cannot get the body cam footage. I cannot make this stuff up, man. I don't think Aubrey Taylor can write this stuff and make this stuff up, man. This is crazy. What's going on down here in Harris County? What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to hold y'all long tonight, but I want you to make a commitment to having a better year next year than we had this year. I hope Harris County, the Harris County Department of Education, the Houston Community College, the Houston Independent School District, I hope that they all get new leadership, because you people are off the chain. You people are off the chain, man. We don't know who to trust anymore, especially from an African-American standpoint in our community. We don't know which politicians to trust anymore. We don't know what to do as far as school. Now, I want to say my babies go back to school Monday. They go back to school Monday. And, of course, HISD has already said that they are going to have a mask mandate and they're going to enforce it. I hope you enforce the fact that they need a quality education. Because while you over here put masks on everybody, whether they got a mask on or not, they can't read. Our babies cannot read. So can we focus on education for a change? Mr. Dutton, I'm going to give you a call because there's something I want to talk to you about on the educational aspect of all of this. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've had a great year. I've done a lot of good work for the community. I think the community has done a lot to help themselves through this pandemic. So I salute every organizer, every community member, every volunteer that has gotten out to help our communities. You guys are a true blessing to everything that's going on now during this pandemic. I hope that our city, state, and national government gets their acts together so that we can move this country forward. We're not moving right now. We're not doing what needs to be done. Just because you're living a good life doesn't mean that this country is moving in the right direction. And we have to get on track. But the first order of business in Harris County is January 15th. Community meeting. All elected officials, you will receive an invite. And I expect you to be there. If you're not there, then guess what? We're going to do everything in our power to tank your election runs and your primaries. And if you get out of the primary, which I doubt you will, we're going to tank you in the general. It is time for you elected officials to sit down with your bosses, which is the voters. Explain yourself why some things are not being done in our community. Tell us why. January 15th, BH Ranch, 1 p.m. You need to be there. You need to be there. And if you're an elected official and you don't come, we cool with it. Just know that we coming after you. Your seat is no longer safe. I'm telling you straight up, so that way it's not a surprise when it happens. My brother, I want to send a shout out to my Central Region commander of the new Black Panther Party, my brother Bumani. Man, God bless him, man. This is a good dude that under his leadership, I've been able to learn a lot of things. That whole Central Region is monsters. You know, Sister Veronica's brother Renard, they're monsters, man. And these are people that are on the front lines every day. So I salute all the frontline workers in the community. I salute them all, especially my commander, Brother Bumani, who's out there in St. Louis doing his thing. So let's make a commitment to having a better year next year. You feel me? than we had this year. I want to read some of these comments. My brother Alan Provost said there would be no 9 or 13 congressional districts without Representatives Dutton and Senfronia Thompson. Two of my favorite, man. The one thing I know is if I call Mr. Dutton, he's gonna answer the phone. If I call State Rep Senfronia Thompson, she's gonna answer the phone, and she's gonna be straight up with me. She don't cut no corners with me. She tells me the truth whether I like it or not, and she's always going to do the right thing. Unless you can tell me something or show me something different. Don't tell me nothing. Show me something different. Then no, I'm gonna rock with them because they do what they're supposed to do. A lot of people try to talk down on them, but I could care less. You got enough of them out there that you really could talk down on that ain't doing nothing but getting grant money and keeping it. You got some city council people getting gift cards, supposed to be giving them out to the public and keeping them. You see what I'm saying? So the good ones we'll hold them up, and the bad ones we're gonna get rid of you. So January 15th, you might want to make plans. If you're an elected official, you're welcome to come. If you are a voter, you're welcome to come. And we have enough room to hold about 3,000 to 5,000 people. So bring you behind. You got questions, you're going to be able to ask them. We want short-term solutions. We want long-term solutions. But we definitely want something for our votes. Or guess what? You ain't getting them in the primary. So get on the phone, do what you normally do, which is call everybody and say Monroe trying to mess over us. And man, I don't care what you say. But y'all not finna walk around here not one more day and think that you're going to represent us and you getting caught stealing money. Elected officials, your times are up. It's up. I want y'all to be safe tonight. If you out there popping them guns, be careful because they trying to catch y'all. And you know, if we get caught violating the law, we going to jail. But if you an elected official in Harris County and you violate the law, you just might get away with it. So it's a reason I'm the best in the business. For 2.5 years, I've been rocking with you and you've been rocking with me. I'll be back Monday to start the new year off right. And it is what it is. But I want to tell y'all there's a superhero coming to town. You'll figure it out. His name is the 5-star general. HISD, get ready. Because I ain't through with you. Not by a long shot. Mr. House, either clean house or show the people that you're a house Negro. Until Monday, I'll holler at you.